Good evening, everybody. So, decided to do another stream tonight. Talked about this yesterday that I might do this, and so here I am. I don't know if we'll actually get anyone watching tonight, but I wanted to, at least everything I'm doing on this project, I wanted to do on stream, so everyone can follow along. And if people are here, then that's awesome. If not, you'll be able to watch it on the VOD. So, what we're working on, just for those who haven't been on here before, working on a thing to an ORM for Gremlin graph databases, in particular on Cosmos. That's what I'm looking to do. Let's get some music playing here. Okay, we got some music playing. Just a little bit. Go. All right. Pressing. Pretzel should have been. All right. So let's get to the code. What about now? There we go. So I've been muted this whole time. That's good. So I've been muted for the last 50 minutes. I was fooling around with OBS beforehand. That also means that my filters turn on. Yeah, it's got my filters. All right. Well, it's going to turn out to be a really good stream. 50 minutes in, had the volume, had the mic turned off the whole time. All right, so yes, thank you so much, Hi Flicker. I do appreciate that. Otherwise, this has been really frustrating when I rewatch the the VOD later on. All right, at any rate, we have a all right. So we have this working. I think. Well, let me rerun this again. I forgot where I was at. Yeah. Now, we're getting a better Gremlin string. Oh, good. And the other ones got taken out because they're null at the moment. Good. Oh, ID. Oh, what is that doing? Okay. We need to fix that. This ID, that's not right. Cool, so you're working on Twitbot. So, what language are you doing? Flickr? Hi Flickr, I should say. JavaScript. Yeah, I will tell you, you won't see me doing any JavaScript. That's just never been my thing. I do it. I mean, I have to. I prefer C#. So, what are you trying to get the bot to do? All right, I need to. All right. I need to find out why we're getting that double parentheses there. That's coming from here. Theory means it's coming from here. Breakpoint right here. And then key. Oh, okay. But I want. Let's see here. Okay, we're on the ID. Okay. Bring ID. Yeah. So we. Not call stack. I'm gonna hit everything else. Bot for viewers needs work in a specific way. Upload pops. Cool. Well, I wish you luck in that. That's pretty cool. Here's one up. What are we getting here? I use ID. So now if I adding in, got the parentheses in. Want those parentheses. So Oh, I draw a blank. I want to strip out those parentheses. C sharp, strip out parentheses. I know I didn't spell that at all right. Tell me what I want to do here. So what he doesn't want to do is simple expressions. Hard. Cool. Well, hi Flicker, how long you been? So you're saying you're new to code? I mean, how do you just now getting in? JavaScript's your first language, or been doing it a little while? Just do this a simple way. All right, I want a two-string replace. Oh, come on. Do that. No. Well, I've taught myself HTML, a little bit of CSS a few years ago. Okay, cool. I didn't really have a project to work on, so I stepped away from coding. Got a few projects lined up. Coding language from. Cool, yeah. No better way to start learning coding than get some projects to do it. You know, I work with a lot of. I end up working with a lot of folks who are newer into coding, and I always tell them just do things, do projects, right? Whether for yourself or for other people. And I always tell them, you know, a lot of my projects get thrown away. Right? I mean, I throw away more projects than actually ever live. But the point is just keeping practicing, keep on learning. Part of the reason why I'm still doing this is just keep on learning. Or that, I keep on doing this because I get to keep on learning. Right? That's one of the awesome things. All right, I want to. So I'm not allowed to do this without a empty character loop. Can I do that? C sharp string replace empty. That's what I want with it. All right. Oh. String node. Yeah, I knew that could be right. Here's what this said. Maybe if I do. There we go. All right, now let's see what we got. Get rid of my breakpoints. So, what else? Any breakpoints? And now ID, there we go. Now we got ID fixed. That's good. So sure enough, be able to copy this back to console then. Using a test bed, there we go. Now, what I'm gonna do, verify this Gremlin portal, go into Azure. Spots are extremely easy because the TMI very well documented. Which I run into because to get back in data collection, looking data for the queue. Also plan to learn C# at some point. So yeah, let's see. So yeah, well, so the good part. So you're talking about having trouble with the backend data. And again, I'm definitely no JavaScript expert at all, but there are definitely JavaScript libraries that should help you with collecting that data. You need to figure out where you want to keep it. Maybe just a text. I don't know if you're looking at just like a text document, or or actual database somewhere out there. I know there's libraries out there that will definitely help you do that. And then learning C# is definitely a good thing, especially, well, I will say it depends where you're at, right? Different parts of the country, different parts of the world, JavaScript is more important than C#. Like here, I'm here in Louisville, Kentucky. It's an even mix. I mean, I can tell you definitely C# over Java, right? Because there's not a whole lot of Java work here. C# is definitely a good language to learn. Nice part about learning something like C#, it's kind of an easier language in the sense that there's a lot of okay, Knoxville. Okay, so Knoxville would pretty much be the same. Although I think there's more Java down there than up here in Louisville, but still, C# is definitely a good one to learn. The nice thing about C#, well, one, if you're learning JavaScript, especially you're learning some of the backend code, that will apply when you start learning C#. Some will start looking a little bit familiar. All of that, C# is definitely a great way to learn other languages because the syntax is pretty standard. All right, so I'm in here. I'm going to go to my Cosmos database, and I want this one. This is the one I'm going to play with right now, the Copalooza one. We're going to go to Data Explorer. This Copalooza will work just fine. There's absolutely nothing in here right now. And graph, just to verify there's nothing in here. Oh, there is one thing. Just go ahead and delete that. All right, now I'm gonna paste it in here, and we're gonna execute that, and we're gonna error. Okay, so I don't have it correct. Failure to submit a query. Not add. Oh, because I don't have the part. Yeah, I don't have the partition key. That's what I'm missing. And the partition key in here, I think, is event ID. I want settings. Oh, it's in here. Here, settings, event ID. Okay, so in Cosmos, partition keys are required. And every value must have a partition key. So that's what it's airing off on. And sure enough, it wants something called event ID, which is kind of interesting because this is the event. Excuse me. So that's, let's take another step here. And but for the moment, just to get this to compile, we're going to build add a public string event ID. Okay, no, yeah, here's what we'll do. a REST API would work through data. Also thinking of trying to connect. Okay. Yeah, REST API would definitely be the way to get your data. That's for sure. All right. So what I want to do is add a public string event ID. I have to do it right away. Public string event ID. Get. And this is just going to return the ID. This is the event. The ID's in the vertex. Okay, that's great. And then we're going to add a graph property key. Because Cosmos is also case sensitive. So I need to make sure I set it that way. So now if I run this, get our thing, as you see our event ID in here, which is great. So now if I run this, now if I go here, run this, there we go. And we now have our graph created, our vertex. Got the ID, the label, event. In reality, we really should name these correctly. I mean, that should be name. Sure enough, I want to see something here. Visual code. See how this grabs it. I believe you don't see the name here, and I believe how this works. The launch Cosmos connector here. Here, for those who haven't seen Gremlin databases before, or Cosmos for that matter, in Visual Code, there's actually a really nice add-in for querying your database. And what's nice here is it provides a visual way of queuing it. Yeah. If I had that, it was giving me this ID, or it's giving me this ID. They happen to be the same thing. Go in here, change it. Add a name. I just want to verify this. So if I add a name of test event 2020, do this. Yeah, so now you see shows there, which for querying this on the in the back on an application doesn't really matter, but it is nice if when we're querying the stuff it shows up correctly like that, because that's really makes it much easier to understand than that ID. And that's what we were setting things up. So now, sure enough, if I go in here and say key equals name, I'm actually gonna make a change here. Now if I do that, run this thing, and so now we'll see that property name, it's lowercase. That's good to see. Definitely. No, I want to do it here. Well, here. I'll go here. Let's just do the drop. Drop. There we go. Now I should have nothing. And then we run our statement. right. So there, that will, it gets me my test event. Over. All right. So now what I want to do, that's all cool. What I do want to do is so in reality, these should be lowercase, Pascal case, camel case, sorry. So that's I shouldn't have to define this way. They should really just know to go ahead and change this. Because in C# or any object, really, we want a proper capitalization. But generally, again, JSON, prefers the first letter to be lowercase. So that's add a little bit additional code here. Go back to here. So we've got all of this. Hold on, let me make sure I've got it cleaned out that I don't want. Oh, that was interesting. All right. Oh, let me check this before I go to the lowercase in the first letter. Let's look at this. It said, talked about public values. So let's see. If I do this as a, oh, well, that won't see it anyways. So never mind. Oh, okay. So I was gonna say, well, what if I make that? What if I made that a friend? But really, it wouldn't be able to see because the ORM is separate from here. So that's all right. So I don't need to worry about that. That makes sense why it's only getting public properties. All right. So that's working at lowercase in the first letter. So well, look, how's Gremlin? Or not Gremlin? How is string.text.json stuff? String.text.json. Sharp. So it's got, this is not really what I'm looking for. This is what for this namespace documentation. Naming policy. It's a naming policy for camel casing. Vert name. When overridden, verts the name to the specified policy. It's a naming policy for camel casing. Alright, so this has a naming policy. Just trying to figure out how Microsoft did this here. One of the things they added in the system.text.json, this is new with .NET Core 3, and obviously 3.1 still works. And so this replaces, it doesn't replace, but basically replaces Newtonsoft. And one of the things it does is it'll go in and convert, it'll automatically convert names, which is kind of nice. I'm trying to figure it. So, in terms of naming policy, well, that's wonderful. Abstract class naming policy. Or just do it. I guess I'm trying to figure out if I should override this. I guess the overridings you would name, Okay. Okay, I know what I want to do. So let's in here use vertex attribute. have create an enum. Property. Property. What do I want to call this? I want to call this property naming. Yeah, just property naming. Policy, sure, why not? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this a public enum, and we're gonna allow you to have. So we'll say, just to make sure I'm getting my camel and Pascal case, camel case, Pascal case, camel case, where the first letter is capital. All right, Pascal case is subsetted. Yeah, camel case is. Just want to make sure I was saying that right. Camel case is where the first letter is C. So I'm working in I'm working in C#, but I'm also I'm having C# generate Gremlin code, which is used for graph databases. But the primary code I'm working in here is C#. All right, so we're going to have this enum, and the first one we're going to have is camel case. Then we're going to have Pascal case. And we're going to have leave alone. That's not the word I want to use. Leave alone. That's not really what I'll call it, but I don't know. I'll rename it later. Not really a very good name. Rename leave alone to something better. Sure enough, for those who are not familiar with C#, one of the nice things I can do is I can add this to do. So it's just a comment with a to do. And actually, this isn't really a C# thing. This is a Visual Studio thing, I really should say. And if I think I have it on the window on here right now. If I go to my task list, so you can see I can have my items that I need to go back to. This is nice. All right, so leave it alone, which basically means we'll leave it alone. We'll just keep it what it was. Yeah, most things could do this. It's not that unusual anymore. And like I say, it's not actually language, because this is just a comment. It's just the IDE picking that up. All right, so what I want to do now, I want to, a lot of things open right now. Say, well, okay, that's nice. That's an AMD thing taking over my very common thing I do in Visual Studio. Control Shift S is save all files. Apparently, this is a new. I'm still getting used to this new machine, but apparently in this AMD machine, game engine picks up. I knew it. Hey, Fruity Drink, thank you for following. Really appreciate it. So yeah, at any rate, that's why I was getting that pop-up. All right, so now I want to go back into this vertex attribute, and we're going to add in another attribute in here called public property naming policy. get set, whoops, property naming policy, get set, and then we're going to default this to camel case. Okay, and so then what we're going to do, we've got that. Now, okay, now I want to go into my test class I've been fooling with. And now it's label equals, and then we're going to say, actually it's fine. We can leave it as we can leave it as it was. I'm gonna use the default. We're gonna go over this console app. Of course, I'm writing everything in this console app. I actually need to move this to this ORM project, but doing it here is a little bit easier because I can test it as I go. So now what I want to do, I get these keys. So again, the properties of the, okay, that gets the properties. I want to get the custom attribute of the type. I think what I can do. Thanks for following. Hi, Flicker. It's great to have you join along. All right, sure enough, actually, everyone give me one moment. I'm gonna get another bottle of water. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that, everybody. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get the attributes. We're going to get that vertex attribute off of the class. So I believe I could do it the same way. So how I did this. So I would do so from that I was getting it off the property. The property came from. Okay, yeah. So in here, yeah, I should be able to do the same thing. Oh, yeah, I know what I mean. So actually, let me close up these just so they're on the way. Let me, I need to go into here. Not that, not my email. Let me go into my vertex attribute. And so, sure enough, basically, I explained this before. So I've written these custom attributes that help me define how a graph object looks like. Right? And so earlier we were looking at graph property attribute. So this was defined. This defines some some important things we need within the properties of a graph object, right? A graph vertex, I should say. So your key, so what's your name of the property, whether it's required and whether it's included in the graph. And I haven't touched is required or included in graph. Still working with key, because basically what I want to do is, it should be camel case by default. So now I have this vertex attribute. So it's an attribute for the class. And what I want to do, I want to do the same thing. Whoops. I don't want to move this to the monitor. What I want to do is basically want to create a method very similar to what I did here, where I'm getting the attribute values. So we're going to have public static vertex attribute. give me this back. Get vertex attribute. And in here, so let's give me a property info. This is not, I'm not going to get back a property info. What am I going to get back? Oh, let's see here. Well, like I said before, my mic was still muted. For a while, this is another reflection. So sure enough, in C#, and it's not unique to just C#. Why is there text on the screen saying martial art part 1 and part 2? Martial art part 1 and part 2. I have to admit, I don't see that text you're seeing. Martial art part 1 and 2 martial art. I give it a high flicker. I'm not sure what you're referring to. All right. C# get attribute value of class. So I gotta look this up here. I'm not 100% sure how to do this. It is just get custom attribute. Okay, retrieving a custom attribute, simple process. Okay, I guess it is about the same thing. Yeah, so here they have their developer. Get custom attribute. Oh, that might be doing this a whole lot easier. The developer attribute, my attribute. Developer attribute is that attribute. Developer attribute. Alright, I'm going to take this off screen just so it's a little bit easier both. And what I want to do, is, okay, so vertex attribute vertex attribute equals developer equals vertex attribute attribute get custom attribute okay, type, that's the type of T, type of vertex attributes. Something not right here. There's a sample code from the article I'm looking at. Oh, okay. I see what the problem was. I had lowercase. All right, so that'll return that whole thing. So then if let's see, if my attribute null, console right line, sure enough, I know at least we have one person on the stream who's new into this. I highly recommend Microsoft documentation. I mean, that's what I'm looking at here. I'm just using this documentation as part of this, but it's pretty much, you know, if you got a question, it's probably there. All right, so that'll do that, and then they're saying, and this isn't really code. I'm just writing this code to understand what they're doing here. So then they're, wow. So this might have been a whole lot easier than I was doing something before. So the label attribute is attribute label. Right. Now, if I run this, my is event. Wow. So some so some code I wrote. I wonder if that's new or I just didn't know this from before. 2017. Yeah, okay. So I'm looking at some old code, how I did this before, and it's definitely different. This is much easier than what I was doing before. 2017, that would have been, it's probably VB or C Sharp 7. 2017. But at any rate, is after my code. So things have changed, which is good. This is a whole lot easier. That works so much simpler. As a matter of fact, what did we create? Hold on a second. In the database, so what did I create? I created an event detail. That should actually be an event. We didn't write that code yet. All right, cool. So let's take what we've done and make this better. So we're gonna take this code here and changes from my attribute to vertex attribute. Okay, so that'll get me the vertex attribute. And here instead of this type name. Oh, okay. Here, what we'll do. Var gremlin equals new string builder. So for those who are not aware, in C Sharp, string builder is a helper method, really, built into C Sharp, and the whole purpose is for string manipulation. Right? So think about a string. In most languages, a string is immutable, which means every time we add something to a string. So if you know, like I'm building the string up. So if I say string equals a plus, or string equals string plus foo, right? Let me type this what I'm saying. So if I have a string value, right? And we create, you know, so we just do like that, right? And then I do value equals value plus green, right? So what happens here, because a string is immutable, this actually destroys the value and recreates it, right? And so your problem there is it's waste of memory, and it's waste of resources. Now, this method here really isn't doing that much, but it's still good practice. You use things like string builders regardless. All right, so anyway, I have my new string builder, and in here, what I'm gonna do, this will be fun. We're still gonna have add the, come back to that part. And then what I want to do is what I want to do. We'll say if, okay, so we'll make this a conditional, an inline conditional, and we'll say vertex attribute doesn't equal null. Additional. This is a shortcut way of doing an if statement. So do that and then say doesn't equal null. Then okay, it'll be vertex attribute label. Otherwise, it's going to be type of T name. Excuse me. So basically what I'm saying here is we're going to get that vertex attribute that's on this property. I'm sorry, on this class. So event detail has this vertex attribute where, and it happens to have labels set. And getting that, and then in here I'm saying start my string builder, and then if I have that vertex attribute on that class, then grab the label off of that. Although this needs to say and vertex attribute name a label or not string is null or empty, is null or white space, vertex attribute label, vertex attribute label. But that way, in case for some reason the label's not specified or what have you, and we don't have the vertex attribute at all, or label value is not populated. Give me that value. All right, and then I can get rid of this. Oh, there's just a code from the demo. Just to make sure we're getting what we want on this. And now, see, now we have an event, and that's what we want. Again, this is why I do this in a console app instead of right in the class library that I need to actually put this in. Just do a whole lot of, I don't remember exactly how to do it, so do it in the console app first. All right, so that does that part, but that's not what we're really looking for, is this naming of everything. So what I want to do next, one, because I should have done that as a small e. Not that it really matters. Actually, sometimes I like the other way around it. But all right. Now, I think what this does mean, I think I just did this. I think I just found a much easier way of using this custom attribute. I think we can get rid of some of the code in here. So let's I'm gonna pop on something else. Not that anyone really cares about it. Okay. All right. So I think based upon what I was seeing here with this custom attribute, I think I can do things a little bit easier. But let's do that. Let's do that in a moment. So what I want to do is where I get this key. Where is it? Key. And here we get our key value. So I want to just add in select switch vertex attribute copying policy. Oops. And then we're going to do case, camel case, which is the default. And let me just add these in real quick. Case. Let's go case. Break. Case. Low, which I need to think of a better name for that. Alright. So leave alone really is just leave alone. We're not even doing anything with it. Actually I can do a default. Break out of the default. I don't really need to trap for anything because I'm not going to leave alone. It's going to leave it alone. It's going to leave the name as is. All right. So in camel case, then we're going to do lowercase the first letter. An easier way to lowercase just the first letter. C sharp. Here, actually, my key. C sharp. Lowercase. First character. I think of an easier way of doing this. Yeah, something like this. This equals or okay. Copy this again. There we go. Now, it doesn't mean anything yet. This would just be the opposite. Now it's actually interesting. This could be a problem because both of these could be a little bit of a problem. Like if it was all caps or if it was all small letters, technically lowering just the first letter is not camel case, or just raising the first character up is not necessarily Pascal case, but it'll work for this. The only other thing I want to do here Cased name. Let's take in a string. Am I gonna do this more than once? Not really. Oh, okay. Yeah, I want this. A string input, and then we'll do string property naming policy. Property naming policy, and then in here, basically take this here that we did. So then, now I can take that out of here. And in here, cased name. Why is it not? Oh. The text attribute, property name, policy. Oh. And case straight. Oh, it's not actually a very good name. It'll work for now. So now, I'll run this whole thing. Now we can see small e, we see small n, we see small l, we see the I is already doing that. Good. And the nice part is, you know, let's say, you know, because number one, I mean, you can have, because it's case sensitive, I can in JSON, along with Graphon, because actually the JSON within a graph, it's called Graphon. But so the JSON in there, I could have capital N name, a capital small or lower n name. And you could do that, in theory, you know, just by setting that key value. Sure enough, just to verify that. Here, let's just say we want oh, no, it's gonna override that. Okay. Yeah, I think it's gonna override that. Have to set the about that. Also, I'll probably not go too much longer than I am. Till 11:50 my time, 11:50 in the evening. I have been going since 8 o'clock this morning. I think I'm gonna finish this little piece here, and then I think we'll close it up after that. So, all right, I added that in there, and I'm pretty sure that right now I've got this at so about is not overriding that. So what I need to do, I need to change this here. So this. Case string. Okay, this needs to be a little bit different. So this needs to say, I wanted to, if you put this in, it takes that case no matter what, right? Because that should override reading the value, right? Because you are making that decision to do that, right? So let's just change this here, and instead of casing the whole thing, we will say, okay, we're going to have our conditional here is null, white space, graph, property attribute, dot key. Okay, so all right, so if it's that, then we're going to get the property name, and we're going to case string that property name, vertex attribute, policy, and then otherwise we're going to get the graph. All right, so then it, so this works. So now, so we see about has a capital letter, all the others have a small letter. I think I removed the one from name. Yeah, great. All right, so let's just go ahead and let's delete that. And sure enough, go ahead and get this checked in. Make this so small. It used to be part of Team Explorer. Now they moved it to its own tab. And Git is so small it's hard to see on the side there. All right, so this is just going to be work done on May 9th stream. Tail learn code string. Add all that to the server, and then take a look here. Let's go ahead. Like I said, let's start wrapping up here. Again, I really appreciate everyone checking in tonight. There we go. There comes our stream supporters. Definitely got a couple new followers. High Flicker and Fruity Drink. Definitely really appreciate the follow. I hope I provide you value. Keep on going forward. That you'll appreciate that you're following. Let's look at someone we could raid. I highly doubt anyone that I follow directly is on. Yeah, would have been surprised. So let's see who's on Live Coders. Who's on?
The last.
We got. Catching the. All right. Fiber. Okay. Look at who else is the races. All right. Let's move over to Cyber Barbie. Doing a 12-hour code and chill live stream party. Yeah, actually, this That's some pretty cool stuff. Gonna go raid. Grab a Barbie. All right, so sure enough, we're gonna go. We're gonna move over to Cyber Barbie. I might just tweet again tomorrow. But with that, I'll see everyone later. See y'all.
Hey, we got raided. What's up, Taylor and Co? What's up? What's up? How only did she use Megan? When she used negative on Shinister Bar, she used that. Please, I get emotional, please. The chat will let you know that I get emotional like quite easily, so.